local. I grew up in Fairfield County in Norwalk, and my family's all in this area. I live in New Haven. And we're all just local people who are excited to bring a world-class entertainment destination to Bridgeport. I know you guys have heard a lot about the project. I'll just do the high-level points and just open it up to questions and answers. We are looking to invest $675 million onto the waterfront in Bridgeport. It is across from the Steel Point Peninsula, across the Yellow Mill River. We are looking to invest in local businesses, local workforce, to bring just something that Bridgeport and this region doesn't have. We want folks to come to Bridgeport from New York, from Long Island, to experience world-class restaurants and dining and concerts and entertainment. And so currently we are looking at a piece of legislation that would look to bring a third casino to Connecticut, the first commercial casino to Connecticut. Currently, there are two tribal casinos, Foxwoods and Mohegan, which have had a compact with the state for the last 25 years. The legislature a few years ago looked to vote to open up a third casino in the Hartford area. And so that's when MGM kind of peeked its head and said, hey, if there is an interest in a third casino, it should be done through an RFP process, an open competitive process where other companies could come in and bid and put their best offers on the table. I can say MGM definitely has a really strong proposal. Our site is over there on the water near 95, near train stop, the Metro North stop, near the ferry stop, to bring over the 7.5 million people in Long Island, 8.5 million people in New York. And so this is a really interesting opportunity to really open up Connecticut and have people start coming in the opposite direction, right? On Friday nights, a lot of us are going into the city to have a really nice dinner or celebrate our birthdays, anniversaries. But now folks can get on Metro North and come the opposite way and really rise the region as a whole. One great example of this is Springfield. As you know, MGM just opened up MGM Springfield in Springfield, Massachusetts, and won through an open competitive bid process. And it's been amazing seeing the transformation of that downtown area. I can say Springfield and Bridgeport have been very comparable in the sense that it's been forgotten about or written off for whatever reason. But now you see MGM came in and invested in a workforce, hired 3,000 people, invested in local businesses, made sure that a local painter got the contract, and changed their entire life. And a woman who had a cleaning business, who just hired one other person, ended up getting a cleaning contract for the construction site. Now she has a 22-person business. And I can go on and on about the different opportunities there. That area, what used to be dead, is now so lively. I remember on the opening weekend, the restaurants in the area were running out of food. And they normally open until 7 p.m. are now open to 11, closing at midnight because the demand is so hard. And I know this is a group of realtors, and so plenty of people have been buying condos and building in that area. There's now a Marriott looking to build down there. So once you have a significant investment from a Fortune 300 company like MGM, that really does attract other folks to the area. MGM is not the answer to Bridgeport's problems or this region's problems, but it is a really good start. And if you see, we have an annual CSR report, or corporate social responsibility report, that's in the back that John will be handing out. You'll see all of the different aspects of outreach that MGM has done. They outreach to local businesses, local banks to ensure that those businesses can get the bonding and insurance that they need. MGM is a really, really good corporate partner, and I always hesitate to like gush about them because I then sound like a salesman, but I'm also a local person, right? And so now that I'm with the company, I've been able to go to other jurisdictions and see what they've done, sit with all of the departments that do the contracting and construction and design and all of that. I see that they're a really good partner that could do a lot of good in this area. And so we've done our homework, we've done the economic analysis with Oxford, we've done the traffic study, just to make sure we answer any questions that folks have. And I can say that it's a very well thought out project. We have great partners who are from the area. Our partners from RCI, Bobby Christoph, is doing a great job in starting that development down there on the waterfront. And so we just want to add on to that. And so I think I'll just stop there and just let you guys ask any questions. Yeah.
I have a few, but when is a decision going to be made?
Great question. So in order to move forward with an RFP process, the legislature would have to authorize an RFP process. And so this is the bill that we will be monitoring in the legislature this session. And so the timeline would be, if at the end of the session, which ends in June, they authorize the RFP process, respondents then would have until next January, the next session, to put their proposals on the table. And then in that session, a respondent would be chosen and granted a license. So then that would be the end of next year, or June of next year, and then they would have however long they need to build the project. And so the RFP, it has many layers of criteria. They would have to have a referendum in the area to make sure that the residents of that area actually want that company there. They would have to speak to the workforce development plan in order to hire locally and source businesses locally and have targets for women-owned businesses and veteran-owned businesses, minority-owned businesses. So there are a lot of different layers to an RFP.
Does your plan and do the other plans, just because I just need to know, because I think they have to have it, include dredging the harbor? Because that's such a license nightmare, too.
No.
You can't do this without, no?
We don't need dredging for recreational boating. It's only for big commercial vessels like cargo ships that you need dredging for, and the harbor is too small for today's commercial vessels.
So I bring my muscle with me.
I handle dredging too.
Do you think having a casino is, I guess it's considered the main draw, will be an impediment to getting this through? And as a second part, are there other draws besides casinos where you could have an entertainment center that, I don't know, does it have to include a casino?
So yes, it has to include a casino because MGM at the core is a casino company. And so the casino part of it helps to underwrite the rest of it. And so I'll give an example. So when I stay in New York, sometimes I'm in New York for meetings, the hotel rooms can go up to $700 a night, $800 a night. But in a resort casino, those same quality, beautiful hotel rooms, and I'm thinking of MGM National Harbor, that's my favorite MGM property. It's brand new, it was opened 2 years ago. Those rooms are beautiful, and those can go for $200-300 a night. And so I would say that people have a very antiquated view of what casinos are. People think of smoky, dark, hot dog stand maybe, place where people go and just get lost for hours. However, it really is an entertainment resort. I would point to the numbers which I believe are in those the books. About 39%, 38 or 39% of MGM's revenue comes from casino gambling. The rest is all from entertainment. It's from the shows, it's from the world-class dining, the retail, and so it really is a destination where you can bring kids as well. I'll speak to Springfield, where there's a bowling alley and there's an ice rink outside right now, and there's a movie theater. And so I would just ask people to look at the different resort options and amenities that are available. It really is not casino gambling. I literally, growing up here in Connecticut and going to Foxwoods and Mohegan, I probably spent $20 on a slot machine waiting for a show to start. A lot of us go for the shows and the restaurants just to have a good time.
Excuse me, for future questions, can you all stand up because they can't hear you in the back. So if you do have a question, thank you. Stand up and speak loudly. Thanks.
Do you have any figures on what kind of financial benefit has come to, say, the Springfield area since MGM moved in and opened?
Yes, so Springfield, their fourth quarter reports just dropped. I don't have the numbers offhand, but they are on target for what they were projected. Our wonderful financial analyst here, Carolyn Dugo, can help.
So Springfield is going to take a year or two to really ramp up. Right. The initial statistics, though, suggest a fall or a reduction in terms of the unemployment numbers, right. And that was a real important motivator for Springfield because their unemployment rate was as high as 7%, and so you're seeing that come down. The other thing that's characteristic of the Springfield project by MGM, which is something they'd like to bring to Bridgeport, is the size of the project is designed to promote further economic development in the region. And one of the ways they do that, and this came out in the traffic study, was to build 300 hotel rooms rather than 1,000 hotel rooms. And the idea is that the MGM hotel rooms will always be full, and so you're going to have to go and look at additional places to stay. And what that does is that widens the benefit to the whole community. So when you look for the benefit that Springfield brings to Massachusetts and the region, your first step is going to be the employment figures. Second step is going to be the overall economic activity, so how the restaurants are doing and how the other hotels are doing. And then you'll start to see the real revenue impact come in as that property learns its seasonal patterns, right, and learns how to attract a very strong and high-end mix of patrons.
Maybe as a follow-up to that point, there seems to be some slowing of the momentum for the project, which is personally disappointing to me. One being that I think the revenue projections in Springfield are quite below what was anticipated, number one. Number two, MGM is focusing some time down in Yonkers now, and I think some people are concerned that maybe the focus is off of Bridgeport a little bit. So I'm wondering about your response to that, and then I'd love to hear from Robert what his vision is, because you're doing some great things obviously down there on the harbor, and how this all ties together with I hope what success you've had so far.
Yeah. So I'd say I wouldn't be here if there was not a strong and committed a commitment to Bridgeport. So Yonkers was just acquired because the vision is to have a strong network of regional properties. A lot of the gaming in the past have been centered in Las Vegas, and then you saw a lot of shifting to Asia and Macau. And so Jim Urin, our CEO, had a vision of making more of a regional impact on the East Coast. And so they opened up National Harbor 2 years ago. Springfield, just this past year, just acquired Yonkers. And the market shows that it's severely underserved. That New York market, the per person, per adult, the slot machine per adult is very low. There can be more in the area. And so just like Starbucks, just like Hilton, just like Marriott can have multiple locations in one area, so can this industry. And so you've seen Yuri Clinton, who's my boss, Senior Vice President of MGM. He was appointed president of Yonkers. And so now the only thing that has changed is that he has a shorter commute to Connecticut. He's relocated to the East Coast, and we have an MGM executive here just focused on the East Coast. And so there is no wavering in the commitment to bid in Bridgeport. MGM is committed. There can be a Bridgeport, there can be a Yonkers, it could be even more happening because the economic reports say so. The area is just severely underserved. And then you had a question for Bobby Christoph about the vision for Steel Pointe.
Yeah, I was going to go into that to Carolyn. I'll
Okay.
come up there and I'll give everybody an update on what we're doing in the project.
Okay.
And then a little bit of the background of how we got here with MGM because we're partners.
Has MGM been in dialogue with the legislators from Fairfield County regarding traffic, and how do you perceive mediating the from 3:30 till 7? We have congestion on 95 going eastbound. You talk about going into New York for the evening. Come 3:30 till 7 at night. It's going through New England. And what dialogue have you had with legislators about their concerns?
Yeah, so we've had lots of questions about traffic, and so we were able to bring in a traffic consultant. They're based out of Boston, but certified by the Connecticut DOT. And we did a full and comprehensive study with them, and I'll let Carolyn speak to that.
Actually, 2 studies. Yeah. So Howard Stein Hudson is the name of the consultant who did the report for MGM, and they're known for their ability to properly analyze densely populated urban areas. The study, which I know the folks at MGM have spent a lot of time talking with legislators, the study focused on came away with 3 takeaways. One, they looked at the size of the project being proposed. Secondly, they looked at the location where it's going to be. And third, they looked at the characteristics of the operations that would happen. And their conclusion was, given those 3 elements, there's not going to be meaningful competition for road space. And the study looked at hour by hour, day by day. So it's 7 days a week, hour by hour, in a 24-hour cycle, counting cars and factoring in. What was interesting to them, the traffic study folks, was this is not a large project, right? That's kind of important to size. This is 2,500 slot machines, just a lot for us locally, but Mohegan Sun and Foxwoods have 12,000. So one, it's small. 2, where it's located allows you for access to rail, boat, and car. And so when you look at the size and you figure out how people come and go, it's the impact to any one of those points of access is lessened. It's not an exclusive reliance on cars on a particular roadway. And then the third was the characteristic of the operation. These are operations that work 24 hours a day. Typically, nothing is really scheduled between 3 and 7 p.m. because a project like this, they want patrons to arrive happy and not with road rage. And so you won't see a Friday night thing, right? It will be a Saturday afternoon, a Saturday late night, a Sunday thing. And the other important element is casinos are seasonal. They work at a high level, but the peak months are July and August and March Madness, right? And March. And so when they put all of it together, they looked at it and they said traffic is not going to be something to fear. And those reports are available for the legislators to spend time with and parse through and understand. So they're fine.
Yeah, I meet personally with a lot of legislators in the area. I'm new to Fairfield. I enjoy the traffic every day. So I understand it more than I did before I moved up here. But this is one of the unique parts about this is because it's 3 shifts. They can schedule around some of that traffic that we experience. I enjoy driving from Westport to Bridgeport every day in the morning because I'm one of the guys going that direction. So I think we can work around a lot of that traffic, and there's great infrastructure to help. We say a lot of people come out of New York. One of the great parts is It will help our train ridership at certain periods that we don't have great ridership. That will, at the end of the day, for everyone that I'm a realtor as well at one level, is the better that train is, the faster that train is, the better for all of our values in this region. And the better that train is, the more cars will be pulled off 95 because it will be a real substitute and option. Because today it's almost the same time. So it's important that that train really gets the backing for the legislators as important as everything else. But here, and I talked to a lot of legislators, and they tell me traffic, and they tell me different things, and I say, that's not really fair to say to Bridgeport now we can't develop. I mean, we don't ask Stanford for a moratorium on anything. We don't ask Norwalk not to do a mall. Bridgeport we're also here. And so we think it's important that we look at all these different opportunities and we come up with the right solution.
And another thing, a lot of folks are saying, well, forget the casino, how about we put a bank or Amazon or something there? And it's like, well, those folks will be coming in at 8, 9 a.m. and leaving at 5 p.m. And that would really then congest the roads a lot more. And so the 3 shifts scheduled around rush hour is really one of the main things that help with the traffic issue.
Is there anything at all that the residents can do to make this happen?
Yeah, so
you can also talk to the board leaders.
Yeah,
because it's important that they hear from everybody that this is if this is important to you or not important to you, that this is important because they hear a lot from one side of it, but they don't hear from the positive side that people believe it and want to support it. I think from that having an entertainment destination like this, or having a real venue and concerts and Bruno Mars and Cher and whoever that is, and Cirque du Soleil, to come to Bridgeport so we can all have that and not have to go to New York or not have to go somewhere else for this entertainment. It would be spectacular. I know I enjoy it with my kids. We go to Sound Tigers games now, and I'm looking forward to the Marvels coming. And I'd like to kind of further that opportunity and those options. Yeah. And that's one of the things that, yes, you look at the casino, it's a casino, but it affords the ability to pay for the highest level of entertainment and restaurants and create this destination. And it also will make a destination on the waterfront that really doesn't exist right now in the Sound.
Yeah. I think one of the ways to assist is to really let your voice be heard. So even a tweet, a Facebook post, hashtagging MGM, Bridgeport, or what have you, calling legislators, emailing them. We have, our bill will be going through the Public Safety Committee. We'd be looking for local business owners or residents just to come and show your face and show support, perhaps read a testimony. We've asked boards of organizations to take a formal vote to endorse the project because legislators pay attention to that, papers, media pays attention to that, and so the more chatter they can see happening, the more that they'll pay attention to it. I mean, if you think about just the region and how it could change, you have A-list celebrities that are under contract with MGM who could come to this area. Springfield, their first concert was Stevie Wonder. And when was Stevie Wonder ever going to Springfield before MGM, right? I just went to see Bruno Mars, who was amazing. If Bruno Mars could go to the Webster Bank Arena, that would be like just a huge add-on to this region because people after or before the concert, they're going to want to go to a couple of restaurants and have dinner and maybe go shopping for the outfit for the concert. And so it just brings a lot of new dollars to circulate in our economy. I didn't talk about the jobs. The proposal that we have would bring 7,000 jobs, 2,000 direct jobs to the property, and about 3,000 construction jobs over a 30-month period. And then the rest are what we call indirect jobs. We need to contract lawyers. We need insurance brokers. When you think about the different job categories that are needed to run a 24/7 operation, you need lawyers and marketing people and media people. There are so many different job categories that people, people only think of cocktail waitresses and what have you. That's part of it, but there's a lot more to it than that. And so you have 7,000 people with more money to spend around the area. It really rises the whole region. Yes.
You just touched on it in regards to social media. Is there a Facebook page that is designated specifically to this Bridgeport location that 300 realtors can share and really tag our legislators that we're friends with on Facebook?
Yes, definitely. At MGM Bridgeport on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. And you can directly tweet the legislators there through those channels. On your own social media, you can link to our website, or mgmconnecticut.com is the website. You can learn more there, and there's a take action tab where you can fill out a form and either join our newsletter list, our mailing list, or directly sign a petition that will go straight to your legislators. So those are another couple of ways to help as well. I love these questions.
And then before we close, maybe Bobby can just give a little, we're all local here, right? And I think Bobby has, probably would like to share some of the local story a little bit behind it.
Yeah, so I'm new to Fairfield County. I'm a waterfront developer around the country, San Diego, from Boston down to Key West. And I handle hotels and residential and you name it, every side of the business. I'm in your business. So I understand the drivers and what's important. My father and I, it's a father-son business. We came here 18 years ago, interested in Bridgeport, won an RFP to develop the site. We've had a couple of setbacks with different politicians and things like that, but it's been very exciting, and the city it's been great to deal with. Coming from South Florida, we're really sensitive to resiliency and waterizing and climate change. So one of the things that we've done with the whole Steel Pointe project is we raised the site 8 feet. So that for the next 100 plus years, there's no water issues, there's no water rising issues, no climate change issues. And so we're doing everything at the highest level. It's incremental dollars to do it today, because we know from our properties in Miami Beach what it's going to take to make those resilient now. And it's not incremental dollars. So I just moved here, like I said, I'm new to Fairfield County. I literally moved here with my family after 22 years in Miami Beach. Happy to be here. And then I developed the Bass Pro Shops. I brought Starbucks to Bridgeport. It was the first one. It's not an easy task. Chipotle, and they're all doing well. I want to tell you, Starbucks is one of the top 2 Starbucks in Fairfield County. Much to the demise, they didn't understand that. So the business, the pent-up demand is there. We're developing the waterfront. Probably a lot of people see it on 95 as you go by the Lighthouse building. It's a 42,000 square foot building. It's got a 10,000 square foot waterfront restaurant overlooking a marina of about 150 slips. So we're looking to make that the destination of Long Island Sound, where you can come by boat, come by train, come by water, come by the airport, come have a meal, hang out, shop, dine, and then later, our next phase in about April, I think we'll break ground on the first 200 residential units, market rate. I know everyone's kind of waiting to see how we do. So, but you see the success in Stanford, you see it in Norwalk, and Bridgeport's the next natural stop. This has been great. Lily, myself, Yuri, and Jim Murin did the deal for MGM to be partners. We met actually when we first met the first time, because I'm originally from northern Michigan. But we met in Detroit, and I said, this is a phenomenal complex. It's huge success. It's been great for Detroit. But if I put that thing on the waterfront, I'm going to get murdered. I will never be a waterfront developer again in my life. So we came up with a plan. We hired Gensler and came up with a way to activate and energize the waterfront with inside, outside, restaurants, dining, entertainment, hotel venue, all on the waterfront. I really take my hat off to Jim and Yuri. They did a great job. We went through probably 50 different iterations of things. So they came up with a great plan that I think would be and create a real entertainment destination in this part of the county. One of the other issues that we have, and I hear a lot now that I'm here, is attracting young talent, millennials, and people that come live here want to be here because there's nothing for them to do. There's no nightlife. There's no. Listen, I live right down the road. I know that. Come 9:30, it's lights out. So I think it'd be fun. Yeah. So I think it'd be fun to have another alternative 9 miles up the road and have an option and an opportunity. That if you do want to go past 9:30, you got that. So again, fun. I love fun. I'm the most fun person in this room. So I'm excited to be in Bridgeport and developing. I live here now. I open my door to anybody. I'm in your business. I look to only help everyone in this room. What motivates Bridgeport helps everyone in this room. If I want faster trains to Bridgeport, it only increases the value of the real estate in all our areas. So everything I'm doing only motivates and helps what you all and what your goals are for are intended to do. Some of the issues and what you're looking to change in the state, I think is important. I came from Florida. I was like the only guy coming this direction. Everyone else I know came from here. And now they're my neighbors. So, whatever I can do. I open door policy. I'm the developer in town. I'm a waterfront developer all around.